Greetings ladies and gentlefish, welcome back to Final Fantasy IX. Last time we were issued a fetch quest by a thunder god, because apparently they have nothing better to do than turning up to mere mortals and saying, go do this stuff for me. What are you gonna do? Go get me a sandwich, wench. Anyway, with all that said and done, let's go and start this. So, here is one manifestation. Once upon a time, 33 small countries fought together against an empire. One day, a rebel troop visited a man named Joseph, who lived with his daughter. Owing a debt to the troop, he gladly accepted their plea for help. They headed for a cavern in the snowfield. That's beginning. You have 4 to go. So that's the first of the ones that we are going to come across, and we're actually going to backtrack here. If you go back to where you met Ramor before and talk to him, historian's explanation. Although Joseph's death was not reported to his daughter, the manner of his death speaks for itself. This is the story of a true hero. That's hero. You have 3 to go. So there's the first 2. One of them, cheekily, it's back where he asked you to do this in the first place, but there we go. So we're just going to go down here, and firstly we're going to have a chat with the Moogle. Always worth doing. I want mail, Kupo. Still wants mail. Okay, fine. I'm going to save the game. Let's save, Kupo. So as well as these manifestations, we can also come across some items for our intrepid heroes, which will be useful. Okay, so we come down here and there is a treasure chest, and in it we find a mithril vest. Hurrah, to add to our collection. We have quite a few of these now. But anyway, mithril vest is a mithril vest. Go through round the back here, and we have another manifestation of Ramor. Historian's explanation. The fact that they didn't report Joseph's death to his daughter was indicative of their guilt for failing to protect him. In the end, heroes are also human. That's human. You have 2 to go. That's pretty much everything for this region, so we just go through to the next bit. Treasure chest at the back, behind another manifestation of Ramor. With Joseph's help, the troop defeated the Adamantois in the Snowfield Cavern and acquired the goddess spell they needed to enter the Empire's castle. That's cooperation. You have 1 to go. And behind here there's a treasure chest with the Ogre. This, if you cast your minds back, is a weapon we could have synthesized for Zidane many moons ago, but Zidane has only actually just learned the ability on the butterfly sword, so there wouldn't have been much point. The Ogre does give him more attack power. It changes what the added status is, changes it from silence to darkness, and also he will start learning Soul Blade. Soul Blade is an interesting ability. It inflicts a status effect on the target, and it's whatever status effect that weapon would inflict. So, for example, if you have the Ogre equipped, it will inflict darkness. If you had the butterfly sword equipped, it would be silence. Mithril Dagger, it would do nothing. Mage Masher, it would also be silence, and so on and so forth. So, just a little bit of interest for you. And then there's not much else to do other than go up here. And we go round the back. Yeah. I can't get back up here once I jump off, but I can get to that treasure chest. Whee! And we get a mithril armlet. And there's another manifestation. On their way home, they fell into a trap set by a traitor. Joseph gave his life to save the troop. The troop left without telling Joseph's daughter Nellie about the tragedy. That's silence, the last piece. So that's all the pieces of the story. The only thing left to do is actually complete the story, and basically you have to go out here, round here, up here again, right the way round, and he should turn up over here. So you found all 5. Let's hear the story. However, the story comprises 4 parts. One of them doesn't belong. Be sure to choose only 4. Okay, essentially, so it gives you a brief synopsis of the story as you go. So there are 2 possible combinations. You might have noticed in the description that there are 2 there's kind of two explanations. The two historians' explanations, hero and human, kind of fit into the same part, but they sort of counteract each other. So, pretty obviously, we're going to start off with beginning. Once upon a time, 33 small countries fought together against an empire. One day, a rebel troop visited a man named Joseph, who lived with his daughter. Owing a debt to the troop, he gladly accepted their plea for help. They headed for a cavern in the snowfield. There we go. We're going to choose beginnings first. So next, cooperation. With Joseph's help, the troop defeated the Adamantois in the snowfield cavern and acquired the goddess bell they needed to enter the Empire's castle. That's fairly obvious. Next. On their way home, they fell into a trap set by a traitor. Joseph gave his life to save the troop. The troop left without telling Joseph's daughter Nellie about the tragedy. Both of these other two, hero and human, are attempting to explain what happened in silence. It's a historian's interpretation. So we're going to go for silence next, and then it's either hero or human. You can choose either of these. Both of them are correct answers. It's just how you want to spin the yarn, basically. You can either have the historian's explanation as, although Joseph's death was not reported to his daughter, the manner of his death speaks for itself. This is the story of a true hero. Or, the fact that they didn't report Joseph's death to his daughter was indicative of their guilt for failing to protect him. In the end, heroes are also human. It depends which way you want to go. There is no right answer. As long as you have the other three in that order and then choose one of these two to end the story, that's fine. Which one am I going to go for this time? Let's go for human. Let's recite your story. Once upon a time, 33 small countries fought together against an empire. One day, a rebel troop visited a man named Joseph, who lived with his daughter. Owing a debt to the troop, he gladly accepted their plea for help. They headed for a cavern in the snowfield. With Joseph's help, the troop defeated the Adamantois in the snowfield cavern and acquired the goddess bell they needed to enter the Empire's castle. On their way home, they fell into a trap set by a traitor. Joseph gave his life to save the troop. The troop left without telling Joseph's daughter Nellie about the tragedy. The fact that they didn't report Joseph's death to his daughter was indicative of their guilt for failing to protect him. In the end, heroes are also human. I'll be satisfied with that. Let me ask you one thing. How come you chose human for the conclusion? People pass down stories of other people to whom they feel an affinity. The people in the story had flaws, as we all do. That is why they became heroes in the people's mind. I want to know what you think in your own words. Me? I am away from my country, but I haven't forgotten about my people. Your soul is very tense right now. Maybe you'll begin to relax once I become your eidolon. Thank you. There are many paths. Remember that you alone choose the path on which you walk. Received Peridot. Maybe now. Let's go to Limblum. So, the Peridot. Hey, old man. You're gone already? What's wrong? I wanted to ask him why he made Dagger play such a silly game. Heroic? Human? Those are just things people say after the fact. Why try to give meaning to what the main character of the story chose? I think the old man would have become her eidolon either way. That's the impression I got. Zidane, Vivi, let's go. And this is really the point. You were at the end choosing between two historians' explanations. You're exactly right. It's not what the people say afterward. What's important is being true to oneself. She may not have realised it, but when she wished to learn how to use summon magic, the summon power returned to her. Summon magic can be used for good or evil. She is still young, but there is room for growth. So I choose her as my master. I'll be watching over her. I hope you two will also protect her. Yeah, of course. The Peridot is the first item you get. Okay. Strictly speaking, it's the second, but more on that another time. It's the first item you get that allows a character to summon something. So Dagger, if you equip her with the Peridot, will learn Remor as a summon ability, like she'd learn any other ability. Look, it's Limblum Castle. And so now you have a choice of either jumping off now or jumping off later. If you're happy that you finished everything in Pinnacle Heights, this particular bit of it, bearing in mind you cannot come back, then jump off now. I've done everything. Away we go. Zidane, I want to use summon magic to protect everyone. I know you can do it, Dagger. Zidane, look. Is that the red rose? Those lights must be telepods. They're sending black mages directly inside the castle. Clara, they use summon magic afterwards. No. Mother! It's so quiet. Mother. I can't believe you attacked Limblom. Careful, they might still be around. Vivi, you stay here and hide. No way, it's dangerous here. There are Alexandrian soldiers everywhere. You should stay out of their sight. Okay. Don't fret, we'll be right back. I'm sorry, Vivi. It's okay, just make it quick. And thus we come back to Limblom pretty friggin' wrecked. Yeah, this is not particularly pretty. So, we're going to save our game in the inn. There we go, if the door will work for us. Thankfully they didn't completely reduce Limblom to nothingness like they did Clara. They used the eidolon Atmos in this particular case. But there we go. It's a letter from the Flying Moogle Sereno. Thanks for delivering the letter, Kupo. From Sereno to Mudon, I rode an airship called the Red Rose, but I saw something horrible, Kupo. The eidolon Odin's power is terrifying. It destroyed Clara completely. There's not even a trace of the city now. Bran's Red Rose destroyed Clara? Bran is scary, Kupo. There's a letter for Zidane. Oh, I'm having a terrible time finding actors. I'm willing to take anyone who can read at this point. What was his name? That narcissist from Limblom? I'd even take him. Get him over to my mini-theatre. We need to get some business. Does she mean Lowell? He's a narcissist, alright, Kupo. I have a favour to ask, Kupo. Would you mind delivering a letter to Munte? Thanks, Kupo. I want mail, Kupo. So Limblom is broadly intact, but it's not in a particularly good state. And with all that done, come round in a big circle as if we're back to Lindblum for the Festival of the Hunt. I am going to call this video here. Next time we will need to, well, salvage what we can from the city of Lindblum and then continue on our merry little way. After the place has been pretty much wrecked by Bran once again. So at this point, of the 3 major kingdoms on the Mist Continent, Bran has pretty much conquered them all. Which is presumably what you were after. Anyway, I will catch you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.